What's up guys, Bloodshed here. Today we're talking about the Bones of Rathma Necromancer push build for Diablo 3 patch 272 and season 25. Now another build that's undergone changes, but mostly numerical buffs. Bones of Rathma 6-piece, each permanent active minion increases the damage of Army of the Dead. So it's an Army of the Dead build. If you've been out of the loop, you've been under a rock. They changed the Rathma set from a mage set, right? Rat runs are literally derived from mages. Now it's a Army of the Dead set. Army of the Dead is one of the coolest abilities in the game. You got that World War Z zombies charging the front line. It's a really fun, interesting commander type of playstyle. Anyway, it went up to 31,500% set bonus. I know a lot of the people that hate big numbers in Diablo are having aneurysms right now, but yeah, that's a huge set bonus and how you fix builds in Diablo 3 apparently. The new build is really strong. S tier works well with the new gems. We'll get all into the nitty gritty soon. Let's get into some gameplay. So here we are on a 120 Rift with 800 Paragon, 25 legendary gem levels, tier 3 soul shard seasonal theme, no augments, yeah, nothing like that. So we have, this is just what I use to test all the builds this season. It allows me to see how they perform at a low GR level, at a high GR level. And when I add more main stat, I can see how they react and I can run the numbers, and it's just like what I've been using, right? As you can see, it's still Necromancer, so you're still hella squishy, but it's visually super cool. And you technically don't have to be up in the thick of it. I'm just, I have shield pylon right now, so I'm just enjoying my life. It's not for hardcore players unless you go, I have a hardcore version I'll show you that I've been working on. You have to really pay attention on hardcore, right? All Necromancer builds can be, pretty much one tapped unless you're playing maybe like Poison Scythe or something really powerful, maybe even Corpse Explosion. But Necro squishy, you guys know that already. Like I said, probably the best thing about the build is how visually cool it looks and thematic. Looks like you're commanding all these skeletons, army to do your bidding, and you kind of step back. It's not necessarily a pet build. You are definitely their master in this situation. Pretty easy to gear overall, since it's not using Lawn, it's just using the Rathma set, Captain Crimson set, and all that. Like I said, we'll get into the gear. I just want to let you guys know it's easy to gear, really powerful, relatively easy to play. We'll probably go over the set itself also, just to get you guys up to speed. But basically, you want things commanded by your skeleton, because it's every time they hit, it's lowering the cooldown of Army of the Dead. So we're stacking CDR everywhere, double crit CDR, and you can see the Army of the Dead key. My overlay is kind of blocking it, but you can see me mashing it right there. It's a Q. It's the first button right there on the screen. It's just up constantly, right? So this works for speeds too. Like you can technically port around and just push Q. It'll group up all the enemies and just destroy them. In this version of the build, I am using a Stricken. I think I talked about it in the Wizard. I like my Strickens, but you don't have to use Stricken. I would definitely go with a Gogok if you want even more CDR and more survivability, which, we pretty much want more survivability, but let's skip ahead to the Rift Guardian here. I actually left that clear because I'm constantly testing different builds on stream, but on this 120 clear, I did the Rift Guardian. So it happened in another video too, because I'll do like half a Rift and I'm like, okay, I like this, and then I'll tweak something, change a rune around, change a different, item or whatever. So here we go. We got Crusader King. We're gonna line him up here, cast our abilities, and watch his health get basically destroyed. So yeah. A lot of these builds this season have really good single target, right? So like the Rift Guardians is not really a problem for a lot of these top tier builds, and that's probably why they're top tier builds, I guess. Here is the build I was using for reference in case the website's down. But again, I have a website, bloodshed.com, where we have all the builds that are going to be updated for next season. They're not updated right now unless you're watching this in season 25, right? We're in season 24, the builds are season 24. If you're watching this in season 25, they'll be season 25 builds. Okay, so double crit cooldown, main stat, double crit cooldown. If you can get area damage or resource cost reduction is good for hardcore. This is my hardcore version of the build. That's why I got Unity here. You can obviously go COE on softcore if you don't mind dying once or twice. Red gems for armor. This is really important, the Anguish gem. So this is the seasonal theme gem. I like the Anguish Gem. It gives me cooldown, movement speed. It helps me dodge affixes and all that. I like it. Okay, so the secondary affix, it says your movement speed cooldown reduction can be increased up to 15 times by dealing poison damage to the enemy. This is more maybe something I would use on a speed build. There's another affix that increases the damage they take from all sources with poison damage. I would definitely use that one. So I've been going back and forth between them. This is more of a speed gem for me, I think, though. And then I like the Terror Gem in the helm with the secondary affix that gives you critical hit and attack speed. 7%. We got the Captain set. Here's a shield. You can see I got RCR on the shield. You need the Bonds of Selena for Army of the Dead damage bonus. I got my Stricken, but again, I would drop Stricken if you want, and you can go Gogok here. And here are the passives if you don't know what they are. Relenus, so you want max essence in your Paragon. So why am I using a Traveler's Pledge? Because I don't want to farm Hellfires on the PTR, but I would probably use a Hellfire with Cheat Death right here. So if you're on hardcore, you definitely need your Cheat Death passive, and I would definitely use a Templar. And then again, softcore can use the Enchantress. I'm gonna go through the set bonus really quick just to give you guys clarity if you're still confused about how the set works. Your permanent minions reduce the cooldown of Army of the Dead each time they deal damage. Your skeletal warriors spawn faster, and your revived minions no longer expire. So when you have corpses, you just keep up your max stack of revive, and that's it. In terms of your command skeletons, go with Frenzy because they attack the fastest. The 4-piece, your minions no longer take damage. That's great, right? You don't have to worry about them dying. You gain damage reduction each time one of your minions deals damage. So you literally don't have to think about anything if you're just casting command skeleton on elites and you have 10 stacks of revive. You only have to use revive in the beginning of the rift unless you want to change out your revived minions for aesthetics. I don't think there's any difference in terms of damage or anything like that. As far as I know, I haven't done that next level testing, but and the 6-piece, each permanent active minion increases the damage of Army of the Dead up to 31,000% damage. So you really don't have to worry about anything with the build. All you're doing is spamming all your abilities. Obviously, you want to hit them with bone armor to keep up your bone armor stacks, but they cause CC, which should proc your Crispins. So your Crispin, you deal damage to enemies that are slowed or triple damage against enemies affected by any other type of control effect. So this is proccing your tier 3 Crispins automatically, and then obviously Zaze has a crowd control effect, Trapped has a crowd control effect, so you're proccing Crispins nonstop. You don't have to really worry about that. Reservoir for the resource because we're using Relenus in the cube, right? So then your Paragon, you want resource. Here you got resource. We got resource on our passive. So the reason why we're commanding skeleton on every elite is because the 2-piece Jesseth set, when the target of your command skeleton dies, you are automatically commanded to attack a nearby target. But you get 400% increased damage when they're commanded to attack a target. So just by commanding any target, I just like to put them on elites, but you can put them anywhere, I guess, because you still get the bonus, the 400%. You can see like for softcore, you can maybe go squirts. You can maybe go COE like we talked about and change things up a little bit, but it's so damn squishy, man. It's hard to even enjoy this version of the build, but at least you can see kind of things that you could do. Don't forget, we got a Diablo website, bloodshed.com, with all kinds of videos for the new follower system, the challenge rift bag optimization, the tier list. So this is season 24. There'll be a season 25 version when it comes out. It'll look similar to this. And then each class has its own separate tier list. So like Witch Doctor, it's all broken down by builds and everything like that. And then speed builds, push builds. I have a variety YouTube channel. We're probably going to play through Pokemon Diamond if I have time. We're also playing WoW Classic on the side, just enjoying all the different games while we're waiting for the new Diablo season. Check me out live, twitch.tv/bloodshed. And that's it. I'm out of here. Peace.